It's the Win BA3962 10-inch bandsaw. Let's throw it together and see what it looks like. It's going to be really nice if I can find a place for it. There was a screw up on shipping, but it finally arrived. And it looks like it's all in one piece. Well, the first thing I'm noticing is it's heavy. It's nice and heavy. It seems very well made. I think even that's metal, yep. Of course that's plastic, that's plastic. It's got the light. What is the height of this thing? Let me grab a tape. What's a carpenter without a tape? A plumber. Oh, look here. Ta-da! Now let's do it over here. You're 35 inches. All right, the width on this, let's go to the base. That's going to be the biggest thing, 11 and a half. And this way, the base, again, is going to be the biggest thing. And that's going to be 15 3/4. I could build another cabinet for it instead of using and I need the storage space, so that's what I'll do. Okay, well, it's pretty. So far, it's very pretty. So the first thing you do is take out all the bolts and then mount it to the mounting brackets there. Why that was so difficult to get on, everything lines up fine. It's just me. I couldn't get those stupid bolts to line up. And then, of course, looking for a wrench, I dumped the whole toolbox. So it's off to a blazing start. And of course, they supply you with a wrench. It's a 10 millimeter. I didn't need to dump the whole toolbox. The next thing that goes on is the rail, and it looks like you can just start these and slide that rail on. Yeah, you can just start them like so. That's pretty nice. All aluminum. There is 0. Boy, we had a pretty darn close. All right, this plate is plastic, and there is no way to adjust the height of that. That height is what it is, and it fits in there pretty darn nice, but there's a little bit of a gap on that edge. So there's no way of adjusting that I can see. We've got an adjustment there for the gauge, but it's right on, so I don't have to mess with that. So to open this is nice. This has a little cleat-like thing in there that grabs that knob and pulls it in tight. It's great. So it appears this one here will adjust the back roller, which doesn't need to be adjusted. That's pretty nice. And it's a slotted deal there. When you loosen it up, you can slide that back and forth a little bit. This one now adjusts the whole head assembly here back and forth. So I don't need to mess with that. I like where it's at, but these guides are just a little loose, just a hair loose. So you adjust those by loosening these Allen heads and squeezing them in a little bit where you want them and then tighten them back up. I'll do that. So I like them where they're just touching the blade and then you back it off a hair. Okay, so I got that where I want it, but there is no way of micro adjusting those rollers. You just loosen these bolts and then you're just pushing it around by hand until you get it the way you like it. I've got that just the way I like it. A little bit of pressure and it engages the rollers, so that's the way I like it. Now the other thing that I've noticed is that this head will wiggle around on you. Here, let me see if I can get this in here one-handed. Watch that head. See it move? So it's got a set screw right in here. There's a set screw right in there that engages this, but that's round on here. It comes out it's got a flattened surface out here where this, engages it. But here, you're gonna have to crank down that set screw or it's gonna roll around on you. Right, I didn't want to strip that. It was already pretty tight. I cranked it down though, and that looks pretty good. Now did it screw up my adjustment here? Let's see. Nope. Okay, this is all plastic. Kind of unfortunate. That's too bad. That's aluminum. This slot here seems to be a 3/8 slot on the top, and the bottom is a 1/2 inch. And a little slop in that, but you know. So this is 2 speeds, and how you get the different speeds is you take this really long Allen wrench, you loosen the motor, slide it over, and then that loosens this belt right here, pulls that forward, and so you can get this off of that outside pulley and you can put it on this inside pulley, and that's going to change your speed. Once you've got it on the pulley that you want, you go back out and around and pull that motor tight so that belt tightens up, and then crank that, cinch that back down. So I like the light switch. That's cool. I like the light. The light's very nice. I like this on and off switch. It's handy. You don't have to look for it. It's, you know, bright. It's right there. But that's on, and to shut it off, you just that is going to be so sweet for those little cuts. Very, very nice. It's got just a little vibration to it. Not bad at all. Probably could put a couple weights on that one wheel. I think it's the upper one that's just a little off. Other than that, I like the little light too. So I put the stand that comes with it on just to see what kind of room it takes up. I'm not going to use this stand, but for now, it's going to stay on there. I wanted to see how high it was also. So the height, if I can get this tape to work, the table sits at about 38.5. The stand, the top of the stand is about 24 3/4, something like that. The width of this is around 19 inches. This depth here is 23.5. I think that this bar hangs over that by a couple of inches. The height of this, well, it's on that stand, is about 58 inches. The throat on this is 6 inches. 9 3/4, 9.5, 9 5/8 exactly. So I got this from AliExpress, and it's kind of a scratch and dent. It's got some blemishes here and there. This is pretty bent. You know, that can be fixed. There's no cosmetic damage there. I can bend that back out if I need to. I stole it. I got a very good deal on it, so I'm happy with that. They screwed up the shipping, and at first it didn't look like it was gonna make it here, and after I reported it missing, it showed up. So, but overall, I'm pretty impressed. I'm not going to use the stand, and the stand is a little rickety. They need to have some adjustment feet on those, on that if you're going to use that stand. That would have made that much better. So I was also looking at that Win 9-inch bandsaw, and it probably would have fit this shop a little bit better. It's a bench top model, but this has a lot of features I didn't want to pass up. This has the bigger motor, 3.5 amp. The 9 has a 2.8 amp. This has a bigger blade, 72 inches. It'll go a 1/2 inch wide. The 9 is 59.5 inches, and it'll go 3/8 inch wide. This has the bigger work table. I like the bigger work table, but the thing that really convinced me was the throat clearance. In the 10-inch, you've got 6 inches. I can get a 6-inch tall piece of lumber through this, whereas with the 9, I can only get a 3.5 inch tall piece of lumber through it. And the thing that really sold me on this It was really pitching light. I like the light. Nice light. So I was what the food the father.